Well, hi everyone. I'm Karen, and with my co-host Selma, we want to welcome you to the Ultimate Health Summit. Today, we're absolutely honored and excited to be talking to Giovanni Dienstmann. We just love the work that he's doing, and his mission is to bring meditation and personal growth to 1 million humans. His philosophy is master your mind, master your life. So let me tell you a little bit more about him. Giovanni is a meditation teacher, coach, and the writer behind the popular blog liveanddare.com. He is the author of the acclaimed meditation course, Master Your Mind, and has helped thousands of people with their meditation practice. He's been intensely seeking personal growth and enlightenment since his teenage years. In this process, he has practiced meditation daily, totaling over 7,000 hours. He has read hundreds of books, tried several different techniques, and spent time on retreats with masters and instructors around the world. All this practice, learning, and training has radically transformed his mind and experience of the world. As a result, he now lives a fearless, peaceful, and fulfilling life. Giovanni is not a guru or a spiritual master, but a practitioner on the way, sharing the powerful tools and insights that have helped him thus far. His work is to translate and update the tools and teachings of worldwide wisdom traditions so that they are easily digestible for the 21st century person. And we're just thrilled to have you here today. Welcome to the show, Giovanni Dienstmann.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Oh, we're absolutely thrilled. So, Giovanni, share with our listeners 3 defining moments that started you on your path to embrace your philosophy of master your mind, master your life, and why your mission to bring meditation and personal growth to 1 million humans is so important in your life. And P.S., don't leave out the allure of almost becoming a monk a couple of times in this mix.
Wow, okay, there's a lot to that question. Well, I can say that when I was about 14 years old, I started reading about self-help, you could say, but also about things in the esoteric world, things about metaphysics and other philosophies of life. And I started seeking and trying to understand what more is there to our human experience rather than just living this life, trying to make money, get married, have kids, and have a job. What else is there to our life? And this led me to meditation. I got to know about meditation. It was mentioned in several books that I was reading. And this was back in 1999 when it was not so cool and popular to be doing meditation. So I went for a workshop, a night workshop in the city where I was living in south of Brazil. And there I was led into 5 minutes of guided meditation. And I experienced something very special those 5 minutes. By nature, I was a very ADHD kid, very anxious, very agitated. And for the first time during those 5 minutes, perhaps for the first time, I experienced peace. I felt something special. I felt at ease in the present moment, at rest, unhurried, nothing to think about, nothing to run after, just happy in the moment. And at the end of those 5 minutes, I felt like, okay, that's it. I'm going to be doing meditation every day for the rest of my life.
And
that's how it started, yes.
But I just find it very interesting that you would even seek out these esoteric and other wisdoms at age 14 when other people are, they certainly have other interests.
Games and stuff like that.
Yeah, they've got their video games, they've got their words in there. So to me, that is a mark of a master on its way, because you wanted that already at such a young age.
Well, I always had this curiosity in me, this seeking of something deeper and higher and more meaningful. And it all started with me reading The Alchemist of Paulo Coelho, actually.
Okay.
That was perhaps one of the first books. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's get to the story about the monks there. What was the intrigue there?
So in the following years from that, in the following years, I experimented different types of meditation. I went to meditation groups in my city, and I was reading books about meditation and Eastern philosophy voraciously, trying to learn as much as I could. And I found a traditional Zen monk, a Zen master that was living in my city. And then I liked his energy. I liked the philosophy of Zen. So I started getting more and more involved with that. At the time I was 18. So from the time I was 18 to about 20 or 21, I was deeply involved in Zen. And I felt in my heart that I wanted to become a Zen monk, because that's what made me happier more than anything else. But I was still in uni. I was still doing my law degree. So I felt, okay, and that was the advice of my master at that time also. You finish your law degree. If until then you still have this determination, then it's true to your heart, and you can follow it. But you finish this phase of life first.
Okay.
And then so in this meantime, I actually changed my path. I moved from Zen into more Indian philosophies. So then, and other things happened. I met my current wife. So life
That'll
changed.
do it. That'll take you out of monkhood.
Yeah. If you meet the right person, yes. So yeah, the external life, the external goals changed, but not my commitment to continue to deepen in my meditation and spiritual practice. That continued to be the main thing in my life. And as years passed, I migrated to Australia, where I now live, and I realized that meditation was now becoming something very popular. I was never following much the media, so I don't know what's happening so much. But then I started seeing all these news about meditation becoming so popular, and people doing it for health benefits, for mental health, for having better performance, sleep, anxiety, whatever. And I say, wow, maybe I can get all this experience, all this learning that I've had, and start helping people in this way. And that was the birth of my blog, liveinthere.com, about 3 years ago.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
well, it's very,
And
very,
actually, if you talk about meditation in that window, 1999, 2000, I was meditating daily myself, and it helped me through a very, very difficult time in my life when my husband had passed away. But I truly believe, had I not meditated daily, I would have had a really tough time with that, So that was a practice I did for many, many, many years. But in the busyness of life now, it's kind of fallen by the wayside. And I really do notice a difference when I don't meditate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then coming back to the last part of your question about then the philosophy, I realized that one of the things that has helped me tremendously in my life is my self-knowledge, self-awareness, my ability to have discipline, to have a strong willpower, and to have some amount of control over my own mind. And I see that a lot that people struggle with, whether they're trying to lose weight, or they're trying to change a bad habit, or they're trying to achieve more in their career, or have a happier life at home. A lot it's at the heart of what people struggle with, an inability to understand ourselves and to have a better control over our mind.
Yeah.
Right? Because our mind determines everything. It doesn't matter regardless of what's happening in our day. If you feel happy inside, you're happy. If you're maybe having the best day ever, if inside you are thinking about how bad you are and self-loathing and angry, then you're not happy. Then your day is not good. So ultimately what happens inside our mind and our heart is the most important thing. And most people, they don't know that they can have a say about that. They just feel like, okay, whatever feeling I'm feeling, whatever thought I'm thinking, well, that's how it is. But the truth is, you can exercise mastery over your own mind, and say, look, this type of thoughts are negative. They don't help me. They don't make me happy. I'm going to put my attention on somewhere else. And that training of controlling your attention to be where you want it to be, that is the main skill that comes from meditation.
Right, and that it's not so much the external influences that everybody seems to react to. You know, they see the news and, oh my gosh, the world's falling apart, or that person did something to me, or whatever. They're always reacting, and they're basing their happiness on the external, right? And so as far as that goes, that's where you need to bring yourself back to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Giovanni, I was listening to one of your podcasts, and you did one about, I think you were going to the Barrier Reef. You talked about mindset, right? Everyone was with the wind and everyone was sick and you were feeling that way, and, you know, and it's just like, but you managed to really control the situation, you know, like everyone's vomiting, this, that, and, you know, disappointment, but you were the one who was so strong. I was just mesmerized by that podcast that you put together, and he was, tell us about that. It's just like your mindset was just, it was just so strong there. And, you know, you could have gone into a totally different direction, right? And what was me, like, but the rest of the group there, but you know, you turned it around. I love that story.
So this is about master your mind, master your life. Life is gonna have some storms. It's gonna be a bumpy ride, and we have very little to no control over other people and events outside of us, right? But we can have 100% control over our minds. And then when you're able to say, so what happened that day is there was a storm and we couldn't go to the Barrier Reef, and it was just like 2 hours going back on the boat, and it was really bumpy and everyone was vomiting, and it was horrible. But I laid down and I said, look, it's going to be like this for 2 hours, and this is the present moment. That's the present moment, that there's nothing I can do about it. I can resist it. I can think this sucks. I didn't want it to be like this. I expected a beautiful day. I feel bad inside my body. I can do that. Or I can say, look, this is the present moment. There's nothing I can do about this. It's going to take 2 hours until I'm back in a comfortable position. So I will not resist it. I will be present in my body with my breathing, and I will not cause suffering to myself over the pain that already is happening. And I found that I could, within limits, I could undergo that journey with relatively amount of ease.
Beautiful story. Thank you for sharing that. I couldn't resist. I thought, wow, I could just, I think I would have been the other direction. But now with yourself here, with that mindset, I mean, you made it the best experience possible. I really, really like that. Great, great, great.
How do you start your day off?
Well, I'm a very structured person. I like discipline and routine. So my day starts always the same every day. I wake up at 5 a.m. I do about 10 minutes of stretches and some push-ups to just wake up the body. Then I take a cold shower for 2 minutes, fully cold. Regardless of the time of the year, I take that cold shower. And after that, I do my meditation, my breathing exercises, and my yoga.
Okay.
So all of this takes a few hours because I have the luxury of the time. I prepare that time for myself. And then I will start my productive day at 9 a.m. having already taken care of all of that.
Okay. I tried it for 2 mornings, getting up that early. I thought, yeah, okay, I managed 2. Maybe next week I'll do 3. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not easy. But it's all about the circadian rhythms. Right? This is really important. I find that doing this miracle morning of waking up early, cold shower, breathing, meditation, yoga, I feel good the whole day, every day. And if I had to skip that, my mental state probably wouldn't be as good.
So if you had to, give a meaning to what is meditation, what would you say? And also, has the approach to meditation, changed from, 3,000 to 4,000 years ago from the great monks and yogis?
Okay. So meditation is an exercise with your awareness, with your attention, where you're either focusing on something or you're observing what's happening inside yourself, right? So there are two major types of meditation. One is the focus type, like you're focusing on your breathing, the sensations of breath, or you're focusing on a mantra that you repeat inside your mind again and again, or you're focusing on a visualization or a feeling like the loving kindness meditation. So all of that is the focus type of meditation. And then there is the observation type of meditation, where instead of keeping your attention like this on a single object, you keep your attention like this. So you notice whatever is happening in your body, in your mind, in your feelings, sensations. And that's it. You just notice things as they are and you let them pass when it's time for them to pass. So these are the two major different styles of meditation with hundreds of different techniques in each of them, because this has been developed over 5,000 years and people have different needs, different personalities. So many different techniques were developed. Your second question about if it has changed, I would say that in the past 100 years or in the past 50 years at least, there has been an effort to secularize meditation. So traditionally meditation was done only by those people that had a spiritual calling, that they wanted to either connect with God or go beyond the human suffering. They wanted spiritual experiences. But what happened is in the past century, a lot of Westerners went to Asia or met Asian masters that moved into the US and Europe. And they started doing these practices because they had that inclination, that spiritual inclination. But then they saw, wait a minute, this has also helped me with so many other areas in my life. So even if I don't believe in anything spiritual, if I do this exercise, I get so many other benefits. So then they started teaching it in this secular way. So that would be a change that has happened.
What would you say are the biggest benefits that most people could achieve using meditation?
Well, so there are 4 levels of benefits: the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. And each person may begin to meditate for seeking one specific benefit. But as they continue their practice, they get other benefits, or the reason, the motivation behind their practice may change. So the physical benefits, meditation is proven to improve your immune system, help prevent heart diseases, brain diseases, inflammatory disorders, help you have a longer life, and reduces the risk of a lot of diseases that are caused by stress. Right? So that's the physical benefits. In terms of mental benefits, it will improve your ability to pay attention, to concentrate. It will improve your mental resilience to situations that are painful or uncomfortable. Helps you manage pain, increases your self-awareness. So basically everything related to awareness, attention, memory will improve with meditation practice. In terms of emotional benefits, people find that meditation in general helps you have a better mood and increases your psychological well-being, self-esteem, empathy, positive relationships, and then decreases all those negative emotions like or moods or mental states like depression, anxiety, fear, panic. There's a lot of research showing how meditation can help with all these different challenges. And then finally, the spiritual benefits for those that have that search. Meditation will help purify your mind, and it will give you a greater awareness of who you truly are, beyond the person, beyond the ego, and allow you to connect yourself to something higher, if that's what you are open to and seeking.
But you also talk about 4 meditation superpowers, right? You kind of like, they also give you kind of like a non-reactive presence, right? Like maybe, can you maybe just you take a few minutes to just talk about that? Like I think, like zooming in, we can zoom in.
Sure.
Yeah, I think those are wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, so in my attempt to, because when I say that the meditation has all these benefits, there's too many people that feel like, okay, that's cool, but I can get these benefits doing something else. I don't really see the point of meditation. So as I started to think back on my own experience of what's the true value of meditation that is true for everyone, right? Then I found, okay, meditation gives you 4 superpowers in your mind. The first one is your ability to zoom into something. So our times nowadays, our attention is each time is getting shorter and shorter, our attention span.
Yes.
Right? And our ability to focus is essential for us to achieve anything. To make anything happen, you need to focus on it for a certain period of time. You need to have this ability to keep your mind, your intention on the same direction for some time, and then you can have something happen. So the ability to zoom in improves your performance in all areas of your life, career, education, even your relationship. Your ability to zoom in, your ability to be there present with the other person and to really listen, right? Not be thinking about something else. Meditation can help you in that as well. The second superpower is the opposite ability, the ability to zoom out. So that's what I did. That's what I did in the example that you brought on the boat with the storm.
Yes,
I was zooming out. Instead of being stuck in that little mind game of like, this sucks and I didn't want it to be like this, ability to let go and to zoom out and say, look, I'm still well. 2 hours from now, I'm going to be on the beach having fun. So just like kind of zoom out and don't be stuck in a rabbit hole.
Right.
And there's so many applications for this because everyone in their life experiences moments where their mind is pulling them into a black hole of self-loathing, of doubt, of confusion, neuroticism. And if we have the ability to first be aware of what's happening and then say, look, I'm going to take a step back. I'm not going to continue on that path. Then what happens is that thing that was eating you from the inside loses its momentum and then disappears. But if you didn't have that ability, the amount of damage that causes is much, much higher.
Yes.
So that's zooming out. The third ability is to pause. So that's the ability that everyone associates with meditation. We live in a very fast-paced life. And we live in an automated way in many ways, right? Our reactions are automated. We are not even aware that we are reacting in the way that we are reacting. And as a result of that, we waste a lot of our time, we waste a lot of our energy, and we say things, we do things that when you look back, we feel like, I shouldn't have done that or I shouldn't have said that. If only I would have thought before acting or speaking, right? I could have avoided a damage in my life. So this ability to pause is one of the superpowers of meditation, because when you try to focus your attention on your breathing moment after moment, what's going to happen is you get distracted with thoughts. And the instruction of meditation is the moment you notice that happens, you pause that train of thoughts and you bring your attention back to your breathing. So you do this again and again, 100 times in each meditation session. So this muscle of pausing, zooming out, and then zooming in back where you want it to zoom in, this muscle is exercised hundreds of times every time you meditate. All right, and finally, the fourth superpower is what I like to call changing channels. So imagine that your mind is like a television with multiple channels. And some of them have a very crappy TV shows that add nothing to your life. And some of them have TV shows that you simply hate. But the problem with this TV is, for most people, they don't have the remote control. The TV changes channels by itself and puts in front of you whatever it wants, and you have no control. So that's how it is for most people's life. And then meditation is this remote control that allows you to change it to the channel you want. And even if the television tries to go back to a bad channel, you can bring it back. You can mute the volume if you want. You can increase the volume. You can decrease the volume.
Yeah.
So imagine having a bit of that ability with your thoughts, your emotions. How much easier life could be.
Right. So for people starting out, Giovanni, what would you recommend to them? How much time should they start with? If they're just going to start into meditation and thought, I'm going to give this a really good go, what would you suggest to them?
So the first thing I would say is building the habit is the most important thing. So you have to practice in a way that your motivation is not eroded, right? You need to keep your motivation going. And for that, I say, don't be ambitious. Don't be too ambitious with your practice. Start small, right? Even 5 minutes per day. Yeah. Everyone has 5 minutes. Even if you take 5 minutes of your sleep or of your TV time, everyone has 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So do it for 5 minutes, but do it every day. Don't skip a day. And that's the principle I like to call the never zero. It means you don't go to bed without having meditated that day. You don't allow a 0 day from the day you start.
Okay. So
if you have that attitude.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
If you have that attitude, then you have the most important thing for building a habit, which is the commitment to never skipping, right? Okay. And then little by little you can increase. So doing 5 minutes is easy for you and you're already getting some benefit, or you want to get more benefit, well, then increase 1 minute per week. And the weeks are going to pass, whether you are meditating or not, the weeks are going to pass. But if you're increasing 1 minute a week, soon enough you're doing 20 minutes. And then you're getting a whole new level of benefits than when you're doing just 5 minutes.
Yes.
So Giovanni, is it, do we, you do morning and evening like meditations, or, is there, is that just like a personal choice? We could do that mornings and evenings or both, and is there, yeah.
I practice morning and evening.
Oh, okay.
But if a person doesn't have the time, you can do it in the morning. Would be better than in the evening, right? Because in the morning you are more refreshed, you are more well rested, so your ability to pay attention is going to be better than in the evening. If you can do it twice a day, of course it's even better. But if not, just even once a day, as long as it's every day, 20 to 30 minutes, but starting with 5 minutes, you're going to experience a measure of all these benefits.
And it's interesting too, when you're meditating, like I was always doing about 20 minutes for sure. Time doesn't mean anything while you're meditating. All of a sudden, half an hour can go by and it feels like 2 minutes, right?
Yes.
So
sometimes that can happen, yes.
When people think it's, oh my gosh, that's a big chunk of time, it really isn't, yeah, for sure. Wow.
And then you just keep meditating.
Place? Yeah. Is there a special place we should do this? Is there, do we, train our minds that when we go into, maybe, a spare bedroom or something like that? Is that kind of, you were setting up a mindset that we're going to do that, or does it make any difference?
It can be helpful for habit building if you have one place that you use for meditation and you always meditate there. If you can have the luxury of a spare room that you can make a kind of a Zen space for yourself, that would be amazing. But for most people, that's not possible, and that's fine. Just have a corner of your room where you have a cushion there where you sit and meditate, always in the same place. That's helpful.
All right. That's good. Important to get those kind of basics there.
Yeah.
Now, how would someone, because you had mentioned there's so many different types of meditation, how would someone choose which one is best for them? I guess we have to talk about what, there's different kinds, right? You talk about the breath, a mantra, visualization. So what would be best?
Yeah, well, that's focus, isn't it? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's the types of focus. Well, it's very tricky in a way because it's something very personal. So my advice would be to experiment with different types of meditation. Right. Because some people are more visual by nature. So meditations that involve like the candle gazing, where you focus your eyes on a candle, or visualization might be more helpful for that person. Other people are more auditory in nature and all their thoughts are more verbal. Then a mantra meditation will help you kind of override that and keep your attention engaged more easily. Other people are more kinesthetic, they're more in the body. So then paying attention to the sensations of breathing might be easier. So that's just one of the elements to think about when choosing a meditation practice.
Right.
In general, however, I would say Start either with breathing or with mantra. And then after you have a habit going, then go and experiment with other meditations and see if you can find something that you enjoy more.
Mm-hmm. So you've been doing meditation for like 17 years. You're into something called Effortless Presence. Is that correct, Giovanni? Can you maybe talk about that a little bit more?
Sure. So Effortless Presence is, in a way, it's a state that you get to into meditation where there's no effort anymore. You're just kind of being there, and usually the thoughts have disappeared or at least slowed down, and you're just there present in the moment. It's almost as if time stops. That's what I like to call effortless presence. There are some meditation techniques that they attempt to do that from the very beginning, like Dzogchen is one of these techniques. But in general, I like to recommend that first you need to train your mind, train your attention through either mindfulness, which is this kind of observing practice, or through concentration practices in which you're focusing your attention. And then after you do that for some months or years, then it becomes more easy, it becomes more possible for you to simply allow your attention to be there, neither focusing nor observing, and to not be distracted.
It's interesting because every speaker we have on this series, the Ultimate Health Summit, always alludes to meditation, to get people to relax, and they all recommend that, don't they, Selma? I mean, we've heard it over and over and over again. So hopefully the message will come clear for people watching this, that it really is, and it doesn't cost any money. It takes very little time, but the benefits are 100-fold, for that dedication. Yeah.
And by time you end up enjoying the practice.
Right.
At the moment you enjoy the practice, then you have a motivation. Your motivation keeps going because it's you get more pleasure. You feel more well after doing 20 minutes of meditation than after watching TV for 20 minutes or playing your phone for 20 minutes or doing other things. Those
commercials will drive you crazy. For sure.
So I'm really curious, but like 17 years, you're doing this for 2 hours. Have you, and sometimes you're maybe at a different presence. Have you ever experienced what the Buddhists call nirvana? Close to it at all, where it's taken you somewhere completely different?
Well, so nirvana is not something like that. Nirvana is something that you achieve after a very long time of practice. So even most monks, they have never experienced nirvana. Okay. It's not something like that. It's a very, very rare and lofty achievement. Okay. It's like having $10 billion. There are many millionaires out there, but very few people have $10 billion. So I can say there are many people out there that they are meditation millionaires in the sense like they get already so much satisfaction and bliss and joy and awareness from their practice that's enough. But achieving nirvana, that's a completely different level.
Okay. All right. Okay. So is there, do we have any myths? Can we do it wrong? Can we meditate? Can we do it wrong? Because we can do it wrong, right?
Yes. There's a popular opinion that there's no wrong way to meditate. And then I like to say, would you trust a personal trainer that would say that there's no wrong way to train?
Yeah. Oh, good one. Good one.
Right. There are many wrong ways to do meditation, and you can get more frustrated, you can get more stressed if you do meditation in the wrong way, right? So you need to have the right attitude, you need to have the right instruction, the right technique, and ideally someone that can help you when you start having doubts in your practice or when you start having experiences that you don't know what to do with them. Then you need a teacher or you need a community of practitioners that can help you go through that.
Right.
So yeah, there are wrong ways of meditate. But you asked about myths. There are many myths about meditation, things that people believe that are not true. One of them we already addressed, which is the idea that meditation is only for spiritual people.
Mm-hmm.
And nowadays, as I said, there's a whole movement of secular meditation. In my blog, the way I teach meditation is secular. So you don't need to believe anything to follow my courses and my advice and learn to meditate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Another myth is that it takes years for you to have any benefit. And while there are some benefits, like those superpowers, you cannot expect to start meditating and have them after a week, you know. So some of them take a long time to mature. But at the same time, even if you just meditate for the first time now and you sit for 10 minutes, you're very likely to already feel better after those 10 minutes. So there's an immediate feedback, a calming effect, a mood elevation that you are likely to experience very early in your meditation practice. And research shows that even with 20 minutes per day, twice a day, or 30 minutes a day, once a day, after 2 or 3 months, the brain structure is already different. There's already many benefits that you're experiencing with only 3 months of daily practice.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I need
So
to
do you think this is a good, do you think this is a good time maybe to have Giovanni maybe lead us through a guided meditation?
a short
Sure.
one?
Yeah, short one.
We can do that.
Okay.
We can do that. So I would invite you and the viewers to sit comfortably on a chair or on the floor and have their back and their neck straight. And just take a moment to gently close your eyes and feel how your body feels in this present moment. Feel the weight of your body. See if there is any tension anywhere in your body. And if you find tension, then consciously relax that tension. Let it go. And now take a deep breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. One more time, in through the nose, getting a lot of air. And release out through your mouth. A third time, in through your nose. And out through your mouth. Now we close our mouths and we breathe normally through the nose, in and out. Pay attention to your breathing. Is it shallow or is it deep? Is it fast or is it slow? Is it even or is it jerky? Try to notice the texture of the breath, the temperature of the breath. Allow yourself to relax in the present moment. There's nothing Nothing for you to think about. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to do. Just to be here and now, observing your breathing. Now, as you breathe in, you count in your mind 10. And as you breathe out, you count 10. You breathe in again, you count 9. You breathe out, you count 9. All the way until 1. And then you start again from 10. All we are doing is just breathing and counting. Counting the inhalation and exhalation. If you notice that you got distracted, then bring your attention back to breathing and counting. Thoughts can be there, sounds can be there, sensations can be there. But just have the intention to count every breath, to not miss a single breath. Pay careful attention to every breath. Every breath is precious. Every breath is your life. Now bring your attention back to your body. Gently move your fingers and open your eyes when you're ready.
That's the calmest I've been in the last 2 months. Oh my goodness, that was wonderful.
You know,
I just shut everything out. I shut everything out. I was concentrating on the breath. That was awesome, Giovanni. That was, wow. Yeah.
So that is one basic way of meditating, where you first come to your body, you relax, you center yourself in the present moment, And then you just keep paying attention to your breathing and counting them from 10 to 1. Whenever you get distracted, you come back. That's a very simple technique to start.
Yes, and something that all of our listeners, are the people watching this, can start doing. It's so simple. So simple.
Oh, it's wonderful. Oh, that was just great. So, Giovanni, it was, it's so great talking to you. You've given us some epic pearls. I'm sure that every person listening to this interview and maybe, going through the meditation is going to be inspired by your message and your own journey, living a fearless, peaceful, and fulfilling life. It's just all wonderful. So thank you so much for joining us. So if you could share some final thoughts on what people can start doing right now to live and dare for their ultimate health and live life well.
Mm-hmm. So a great thing that you can do for yourself and for your future self of 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, is to make a strong commitment to meditate every day, even if only 5 minutes. And then to slowly grow your practice, learn more about it, learn different techniques, find what works for you. But if you do that today, if today before going to bed, you meditate for 5 minutes, and after you finish your meditation, you reaffirm to yourself the intention, I'm going to do it again tomorrow. And then tomorrow when you finish, you say, I'm going to do it again tomorrow. And you keep doing like this. Then one day you're going to look back to this day and feel like, it's great that I watched that video in the Ultimate Health Summit and I started meditating.
Right.
And that, Giovanni,
that was a great idea.
Yes, wow. It was just so cool. You are the master. I mean, I've listened to you a lot, and that was excellent. I really,
thank you.
It's the concentration on the breath. You are excellent. I've so enjoyed this, and people can go further, right, Karen?
Yeah, and if person wants to learn more, they can. There's a gift that we are
that's right,
giving. So you will find the link below the video, or I don't know how.
Yeah, it'll be below the video for sure. I just want to say some testimonials here that we've found. VO says, I recommend to anyone who wishes to start with meditation and is a bit lost when it comes to the how. The better thing is you will also grasp deeper the why with Giovanni. And Leslie says, again, thank you. Your timing, your messages, they are exactly what I need. They really are the voice I need to hear, the words I need to read. I'm that little guy on the diving board, not ready, but filled with a quiet voice that it is time. You are making a difference. Thank you. So to all of those watching today, if you want to go deeper, if you're inspired with Giovanni as we are, he's got a great offer to the Summit listeners. Maybe you could tell us all a little bit more about your Master Your Mind bundle online meditation.
Sure. So I launched this program, which is a 5-week meditation course for beginners. I launched it last year.
Okay.
And it takes you from zero to being meditating every day for 15 minutes.
Okay.
And it is focused on making sure you cannot fail along the way, making sure that you can develop a solid daily habit in the smoothest way possible, right? So at the end of those 5 weeks, you know that you will be meditating every day, you will understand more what you're doing, and you feel confident that you have a habit you can keep for life.
Right.
So I launched this course a year ago, and people loved it so much. And at the end of the course, I saying like, hey, what is the next course I should create? Mm-hmm. And almost everyone's saying, create an intermediate level so we can continue from where this one stopped.
Sure.
And I launched that one last week, and people are so excited about it. It's a course where I take them through 10 different meditation techniques so that they can find which one works the best for them. Mm-hmm. Right? So these two courses together are in the bundle with a promotional price for the viewers of this summit.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And then next year, when we have you back, you'll have the expert level.
Yeah, the expert, version, right? The expert academy.
We'll see. We're going to have something different, that's for sure.
Yeah, something different. Well, this is wonderful. You are the master. I mean, I'm just still tingling after that. I feel really good. I can conquer the world.
You can work until midnight now, Selma.
Yeah, I know. I have, and I can work a little longer. I mean, it's wonderful. You are wonderful. We thank you so much for being with us.
A real quick question before we go. Can you samba? If you're from Brazil, do you do the samba?
You know, I can't. As weird as that sounds. I was.
Karen, you're just Brazil samba. I mean, you can't do that.
And I don't play soccer either. Believe it or not. Yeah, I was always a different Brazilian from the time I was a kid.
Yeah.
You know.
He's a meditator. Yeah, he's a meditator.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you for being with us. We so enjoyed this. And it's just great.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Offer.
Yes, very much.
Wonderful. And to all those that are watching that are tuned in today, until next time, live life well.
Bye, everybody.